Have you guys been yearning to play this iconic game with a fresh coat of paint on it? Well, now you can, and I will show you how to mod parasiteeve. So once you have your duckstation running and you have a parasiteeve ROM file, you want to boot up the game, come to settings, and go to graphics. Just changing some settings on here already makes the game look really good, as you guys will see. Now this is what I like to do. I'm not a pro on this. This is just me experimenting and messing around with a lot of settings, and I found these are the best ones. I like to go to render and just leave it on Vulkan. For the adapter, it's on default. I just like to switch it anyway to my graphics card. Now here is where you guys will see a huge difference. Once you go to your internal resolution, everything's on default right now on how the duckstation comes. So once you go to internal resolution, I'm playing on 1440p. So I want to go for native 1440p, and already you will see the character model already look very clean. As you move around, you can see that iconic PS1 wobbly effect, and we'll fix that. All these other settings, downsampling is disabled. You can mess around with texture filtering and the sprite texture filtering. I just leave it as it is. Aspect ratio, I leave it to auto. The interlacing, I leave it the same. Now here for crop, I put all borders. It does a very small difference, not very much. Now for scaling, I just leave it on smooth. And for the force video timing, I just leave it on the North American version, 60 Hertz. Now these bottom parts right here, I just like to disable true coloring rendering. By looking at Aya, you can see she gets a little darker and a little lighter depending on what you click. I just turn it off. For this one, this is when you want to activate. This is the geometry correction. This is what it's going to allow us to customize the little wobble effect that I showed you guys. So you want to click that. I like to click on here as well for the FMVs. Now let's go to the advanced tab. Now on this tab, there's really not much to mess with that I found that makes a big difference. The only thing I do recommend is to come to the multi-sampling, and I like to use the ×8 SSAA, but you won't see a difference right now, but I'll show you what this does later on. Now next one you want to go is to the PGXP tab. Now right here is what's going to allow us to get rid of that little wobble effect the character has when it moves. So I like to come down and remove the perspective correct textures and just leave the calling correction. Next you want to come to the geometry tolerance. Now this is what allows you to get rid of that wobble effect that I showed you guys earlier. See, at 0 you can still see it. I just like to leave it at 3. I think this is the best value to leave it on. As you can see, the character has no more of that wobbly effect that the PS1 is known for. Now on the last tab is the texture replacement. This is going to allow us to add the HD textures later on in the video. Alright, so for the HD textures, I found this channel on YouTube that is solely focused on having HD textures for these older games. I definitely recommend to come check this channel out if you're a big fan of old school gaming. So shout out to IceBullet for giving us all this awesome content. So on his recent parasiteeve video, he provides us a link to be able to download the HD mods. So when you click on the link, it's going to take you to this page. Since Google Drive can't scan for viruses because the file is too big, you can make your own decision here to continue. And obviously I downloaded it. I have an antivirus program, so I just went ahead with it. So once you download the file, you want to go ahead and open it up. The only thing we need here is the textures folder. So if you click on it, you will see that it has a 00662 file and a 00668 file. Basically, the first one is for disk 1 and the second one is for disk 2. It contains all the HD replacement textures. If you already have DuckStation installed, you want to go to your documents, into DuckStation. Now you guys will see that these files look almost identical to the ones that we just downloaded from IceBullet's page. On the left side is the one we downloaded from the link. The right side are my files. So I want to go to textures, and you guys will see I have the same files on here, the 00662. Now go to the files you just downloaded. And the only thing you need is the textures. So all you want to do is bring this over to your folder. Now it's going to tell you this already contains the same folder with the same name. You want to go ahead and continue. Replace the files in the destination. Yes. Now you want to go ahead and do the same thing with the other folder. Just go ahead and drag it over. And it's going to tell you they already contains the same files. Continue. Now this might take a little while because these files are pretty big. Alright, so now I booted up DuckStation again. So what you want to do next is go to your settings, game properties, go to graphics, and go to the texture replacement tab. Alright, so take a good look at the background. For instance, the door next to Aya right here. Look at how pixelated it looks. So next is put enable texture catch, and then go down and put enable texture replacement. Now do you guys see that difference? Because it looks pretty apparent to me. Now you can just mess around with this, click on and off to see the differences. Now one thing I did notice with these HD texture mods, for instance, look around the lights. There are some very obvious squares Since everything's more crispy now and more clear, the outlines around these textures that are being replaced become very obvious, and it's kind of an eyesore once you see it. Now, for me personally, it does not bother me. I think it still looks very good compared to how it used to look, but I know some people are more sensitive to this. Let's go back to the advanced tab. I recommend it to put this option. So now since we have our HD textures on, let's go ahead and turn this off. So here's a good example. By having that turned off or just leaving that default, when you're using these texture mods, look right here by the door in the corner where my mouse cursor is. Do you see that warping effect? Now let's come down here all the way in the back by the door. Do you see that flickering, warping effect, whatever you want to call it, right here? And then you can see it again right here. So if you click on the 2 times MSAA, you still see it in the same areas. Now, from my experience, no matter what you use, the MSAA, it could be 2, 4, and 8, you're still going to have that effect in the corner of your textures on some places. But if you use the SSAA times 2, it goes away. Now, if you go back over here, you will see that it's no longer there anymore. I just like to leave it at 8. So if you guys end up using these texture mods and you guys encounter this problem, that is the easy solution for it. Okay, so next up, let's check out the font in the game. So if we open our menu, it looks pretty acceptable in my opinion, but if you're planning on using the HD textures, look what happens to the font once you turn them on. The white font looks chopped as hell. It looks horrible. It just, in my opinion, this does not look good at all. You can even see the HP and the PE on the bottom right. It looks horrible. Like, that's one downside from these texture mods, that the font will look like this, and a lot of people won't care, but I care. So we're gonna fix that. What you wanna do is go to romhacking.net and search for parasiteeve. And of course, like everything else, I will leave a link in the description. But you wanna come here and you wanna click on the bottom where it says parasiteeve font hack. You can click on the screenshots and you can see how awesome this font looks. For instance, look at the name. The character names are highlighted in a different color, and the text is so much cleaner, it's bigger, it's bolder, and it still has that pixelated old school look to it, which I personally love. Even has the important details and conversations highlighted. That's awesome. So to download it, you want to click on this link right here and then come over here and download it. All right, so once you have that downloaded, you want to open it and you will see 3 things: the CD1, CD2, and the PPF-O-Matic. So let's click on that and this small window will appear. So we need to patch our game and we need an ISO file. So you want to click here. So you want to go to wherever your parasiteeve ROM is located. So these are all my ROMs I have. So you want to come to parasiteeve disk 1, click on that. You want to open it. Then for the patch, open it again and then go to where the PPF folder's at that you just downloaded. Then you want to come to CD1 PPF. Since it's the first disk that you want to patch right now, then open it and then a bunch of info will come out the bottom, and all you want to do is press apply, and then it will let you know that the patch has successfully been applied. And that's pretty much it. You want to go ahead and do this for this too as well, and then now you have the font in the game. Alright, so now I have the game opened again. Now let's look at our menu this time. This looks amazing. Even the HP at the bottom, look at the numbers. The numbers look really crispy. They look way better than how it used to look. I'm just a big fan of this font. It reminds me of the Final Fantasy VI font, the Chicago style. So I definitely recommend, if you guys don't like how that other font looks in the game, to patch your game with this font hack. Now, if you want to go even further beyond, check this out. So look how the game looks right now, right? It looks good. It looks decent. And honestly, even without the texture mod, this game looks really good. Now look at the difference when I activate ReShade. Do you see that? Look at the doors. Look at the lights. Look at that bloom effect. Look at Aya. She becomes way more alive, in my opinion. I love these colors. They're not too oversaturated, but you can adjust that in ReShade to your liking, which is a beautiful thing. So now I'm going to show you guys how to download ReShade and how to apply all these filters if you like. So it's very easy to download ReShade. All you have to do is come to reshade.me, and again, I'll leave the link in the description below. So come here, click on download, and download the latest ReShade, which is right here at the bottom, 6.4.1. Once you download it, you want to open it up and go down to browse. Go to wherever your DuckStation launcher is located. It doesn't matter which one you click on. I just prefer to use the Qt launcher. So when I click on that, press next, and then right here, go down to Vulkan. This is very important. Next, you want to go to update ReShade and effects. Click next. and there's going to be a list that's going to come up. I'm going to tell you right now, this is pretty overwhelming. It's a lot of effects in here, a lot of different choices, a lot of testing you can do to see which ones you like. And I'm telling you, I'm not even kidding, this is a lot. I'll list all the ones I'm using in the description box below. And if you want to add all of them, you can. It'll just take a little while to download, but I just clicked at the ones that I needed. So once you're all ready, once you have everything set, you want to click next, and automatically ReShade will start downloading all the effects. And that's it, guys. You're done. You're finished. So next up, you want to boot up your game. And to make this section come up from ReShade, all you have to do is go to your keyboard and press the home button. And if you don't have the home button, like if you're using a smaller keyboard, you can always use your on-screen keyboard and just click on home. You can see it comes on and off. So here you guys can see all the ones that I'm using, and you can sit here and mess around with everything and see it in game and see how you can customize the game to your liking. Like you can take this off. MagicBloom to me is the one that really is most noticeable. Like if you turn that off, look at all the lights kind of dim down. So just sit here and mess around with it. Again, I'll list all the ones that I'm using in the description box below. Okay, so before I forget, if you don't want to go through ReShade and download it and go through all that, so you want to come down to the bottom below graphics, click on add, and these are all the ones that DuckStation comes with. But they have a CTR one as well, and to activate it, all you want to do is go to the top and you guys will see the game change drastically. You guys can come to the bottom and mess around with all the settings right here to your liking. I'm not too big on using CRT filters, but it's there if you want it. Alright, so look, these HD textures have their flaws for sure.
What's that? What's that, brother?
They are not perfect, but after doing a lot of research, these are the only ones that are available that I know of. And like I said earlier, this game still looks amazing even without these HD textures. You guys want to know something funny? I've never fully played this game. If I recall correctly, I bought this game back in 2010 on the PS3 store where you can buy all the classics. And for some reason, I only played like an hour of it, and I honestly don't remember much of it. But man, I have a track record for modding games that I've never played. I don't know if that's a good thing or not, but hey, I enjoy making these videos. But yeah, I'm debating on making a full playthrough on my channel of parasiteeve with all these mods. So let me know if that's something you guys are interested in. But if you guys want to help me out, consider subscribing to the channel. It's free and it doesn't cost you a thing. We are on the road to 3,000 subscribers. I'm gonna try my best and make this channel grow even more. So again, thank you all very much for showing so much love to the channel. Take care, stay hydrated. I love you guys, and I'll see you on the next one.